Ever since yesterday, I just can't stop thinking about this lift from yesterday, the 250 kilo deadlift attempt. I watched it seems like 100 times. And the more I watch it, the more I think about what's actually happening at the bottom there. So initially I was thinking quads, and probably still right, I don't have enough quad strength, evident by the fact that I struggle halfway up my squat and also off the floor. So there's a common denominator there. But if you keep watching this thing closely, you will see that as I start to pull, I lose my balance and my shoulders go over the bar. And with that, my shoulders also kind of detach from my scapula, if you will. I'll let go of my upper back, and my shoulders come up, and the bar drifts away from me. So biomechanics would say that if you have a drifting bar away from you, that puts more strain on the posterior chain to pull. You want that bar as close as possible to you. So if I had really strong lats and I could maintain that bar really close to my shins, that would kind of send my body weight backwards, and I would be able to push with my quads. So the whole night I'm thinking to myself, okay, I need a stronger upper back. I need those lats to make sure that my scapulars don't kind of rise up as I start to pull. I need my body weight backwards, and I need my quads to push me backwards. As you know, you grab the deadlift with your hands. The force goes up your arms, into the shoulders, and down the spine, and then your posterior chain has the ability to leverage against all of those systems and to pull the bar up. If your shoulders start to let go and your shoulders kind of start to round over and up, then the bar drifts forward, and then you're pretty much screwed because you're dealing with worse leverages, and the bar drifts away from your center of mass, center of balance. So this morning I couldn't wait to freaking get in. It's a 5 a.m. session again, and I just wanted to hit back. Now, I have not done some of these movements, I want to say, for close to a year. I can't remember the last time I did barbell rows. I have done recently pull-ups, maybe 3-4 months ago. So barbell rows is what I did. I did single dumbbell rows as well over the bench. You'll see that in a second. I haven't done that thing for a very long time. Basically, I'm thinking about my lats. I want to attack my lats. I want to see what effect it has, not only for my lats to get stronger, but also for me to have kind of like a mind-muscle connection to my lats. So when I'm going down, when I set up for my deadlift, and when I raise my shoulders up and then I clench them down, I have more of a sensation of what my lats are doing. I'm more aware of what the muscle is doing. I feel, and I'm sure you guys agree with me as well, that if you're a strong guy, you probably have a strong back. Eddie Cohen, I heard him say last night, it was a quote from him. He said that I've never met a weak man with a strong back. So, there's many different muscles in your back, obviously your rectors and whatnot. But I think the lats have a big function in the deadlift. Not so much in the squat, but I think in the deadlift, because the weight's in your hands, you need to stabilize that weight through your lats. It's remarkable that I can deadlift 240 kilos without dedicating any time to my upper back, if you will, to my lats. So I'm gonna do this every other day, some attention to my lats, and then on the in between days, I'm gonna do my bodyweight squats and my split squats. So that's kind of the setup right now. Right now I'm sitting here and my lats are absolutely pumped, and I think I'm going to be quite sore from this. When I was thinking about the back exercises to do, I kept thinking to myself, okay, what mimics the best, the starting position of the deadlift? Automatically I thought bent over barbell rows. I ended up doing 5 sets of 30 with the bar. I know that's a lot of reps, but I want to start them really high and then kind of work my way to lower repetitions. The reason why I think they are more applicable is because, well, if you look at what my upper arm is doing, it's kind of going towards my chest, towards my back, right? It's pinching the armpits together. If you were to do, say, the pull-up, I think the pull-up has less carryover because it's kind of like a longer range of motion, and there's a little bicep there, and by the time you kind of get your elbows all the way down, you're probably exhausted, and your scapula might rise when you fully kind of elevate in the pull-up. Whereas with this, the range of motion is much smaller, and you can kind of concentrate on contracting that lat, which is kind of the closest mimic to the deadlift. Having that said, I ended up doing pull-ups as well. Now, usually, even though I haven't trained them, usually I'm quite capable of pull-ups. I can get 10 to 15 reps without even training them. I'm just one of those guys that I've spent such a long time doing pull-ups that it's kind of engraved into my system. I'm just pretty good at pull-ups, even though I don't train them. But by the time I got to them today, I was absolutely exhausted. My upper back was fried, so I ended up just doing, I think I did 2 sets of 5 here, and I just had no pulling power left in me. I came back to them. I ended up doing 3 sets of 5 at the end of the workout, and that kind of reminded me of my chat to you guys a few weeks ago when I was talking about greasing the groove, when I first kind of ran into Pavel Tsuling, and I realized this whole thing about greasing the groove. I remember telling you guys a story when I, experimented with it. I remember I did a day. I'll tell you guys. I remember I did a day where I went, okay, let me try this greasing the groove business. I absolutely killed my back with pull-ups. Absolutely fried myself. I went back in the house 3-4 hours later. I came back in and I was able to do like 80% of my effort from the previous session in that day. So like 3-4 hours removed from absolute annihilation of my upper back. I was able to come back 3-4 hours later after all that pump and all those waste products from my back left me. I was able to repeat that performance up to 80%. So that's why I did the pull-ups at the end of this workout again. That's a nice little way of adding volume. So you start at the start of your session, you do something, you smash yourself, you go and you do other things like what I did today with squats, and then you come back to whatever thing you were doing and you'll see that you've kind of recovered, and you'll be able to kind of get more repetitions out of it. So I ended up doing 3 more sets of 5, whereas if I did that, in the bulk of the workout before, I would have struggled to get those clean reps. So anyway, that's pretty much the session. I hit upper back. I'm thinking about my upper back. I'm thinking about the starting position, the deadlift. I think I need more back. So yesterday's video, I titled it, I need more legs. Well, in order for your legs to have the best mechanical advantage, you basically need to solidify your upper back. If your back, your scapula, is a floating structure, as in the more you push with your legs, the more the scapula detaches from your upper back. You're kind of like shooting a canoe, shooting a cannon from a canoe, right? It would just send you backwards. It's all about upper back tightness. It's all about spinal tightness in order for your quads to have a solid ground to push up against. So that's what I did. Upper back, I did some squats. I'm actually quite sore from yesterday already. Man, it's incredible, these Bulgarian split squats. So yesterday I did 5 sets of 5 with 60 kilos Bulgarian split squats, and like clockwork, every single time I do them, and now it's been quite a while now that I've been doing these, I still get sore. It's just remarkable what this exercise can do, and that's on somebody that squats every day, right? It just hits differently. It's like a weird range of motion. But anyway, I was able to hit 170 today again. There's a lot of systemic fatigue that I have right now, and I kept thinking about it as well today as I was kind of going through this. Upper back training is historically for me, especially the barbell rows, it can really tire me out, especially the lower back. So when you're deadlifting, when you're squatting, and when you're doing barbell bent over rows, that's a lot of tension on the lower back. So I'm going to be mindful of how that's feeling. Amongst all of this, really, I haven't done all that much quality repetitions at sub 50 of my squat. All of my reps have been basically body weight and Bulgarian split squats. So that's kind of where I'm getting my squatting volume, and that's kind of in the attempt to basically return some sort of balance to my hips. I'm really kind of weak in that frontal plane, really weak. I don't have a lot of stabilization kind of in the lateral hip. So I think that's where the Bulgarian split squats come in. And also the Bulgarian split squats do hit my quads. It's just that I'm so lacking in that frontal plane stability that every time I do these Bulgarian split squats, my glutes are screaming. Not the glute max, although I sometimes think it might be even the glute max, but predominantly the glute medius. So that's basically where I'm at. Bulgarian split squats, bodyweight squats, a whole bunch of upper back now. I'm really interested to see how this is going to pan out. So I want to say if you have a mind-muscle connection with your lats and you have the ability to kind of clench them down as you pull, as you push into the bar at the bottom of the deadlift, especially for people, some of us guys who struggle with that, breaking that weight off the floor. I think this is the key. I think it's a two-pronged attack. You need the upper back to be solidified, and you also need quad work. So that's what I'm doing. Upper back work one day, quad work the next day, and let's see how it goes. The reason why I'm doing all of this is, again, is because I've identified my quads are weak. So I need to attack them, but obviously I can't attack them every single day with Bulgarian split squats. I need something in between. Even these bodyweight squats are not going to be feeling good to me, in between days. So I'm going to attack Bulgarian split squats and body weights on one day. I'll do the upper back the other day, and let's see if I can kind of really clean up that position at the start of the deadlift, and let's see if that kind of carries over to that middle portion of my squat as well. That's kind of the weak position that I have. If you think to yourself conceptually, the point of breaking the bar off the floor and the middle of the squat, they're very alike positions of the body. The knee angle is very similar. Also, the back angle is kind of similar as well. So I need to work on that. So upper back tightness and more quad strength, and let's see how it pans out. All right, guys, let me get out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.